Are you ready to flex those brain muscles and level up your smarts? Let's start. You're in a dark room with 3 light bulbs. There are 3 switches in the corridor. Your task is to figure out which switch controls which light bulb. How many times do you need to open the door to do it? Actually, just once. Turn on 2 switches at the same time, and after a while, turn off the second one. Now enter the room. 1 light bulb is still on. The first switch controls it. Now all you have to do is touch the remaining bulbs. The warm one is linked to the second switch, and the cold one is controlled by the third. A guy likes a girl and wants to know how old she is. She smiled mysteriously and said, "Yesterday I was 22, and next year I'll be 25. Can you guess when the girl's birthday is and what date this took place? I'm sure you figured out the conversation took place on the 1st of January, and the girl's birthday is on the 31st of December. When she says yesterday, she means the 30th of December, when she was 22. She turned 23 the following day, and since they were talking on the 1st of January, she will indeed be already 25 a year from that day. The detective stormed into the lab just in time to stop the theft of a groundbreaking secret formula. 2 women stood under the harsh fluorescent lights, both dressed as scientists. But the detective knew one was the real deal and the other a clever thief with plans to swipe the priceless formula. One woman clutched a folder filled with papers. She had her ID badge clipped to her coat. The other one held a flask. So who's the thief? The detective noticed one subtle detail: a pair of pristine white gloves peeking out of the pocket of one of the ladies. Real scientist gloves don't stay clean for long in a lab. The spotless gloves were a giveaway. This lady wasn't experimenting. She was staging a heist and trying to leave no fingerprints behind. The detective decided to rest at the park. Suddenly, he heard a young girl crying. She told him someone stole her puppy of a rare and expensive breed. 3 people nearby are acting suspiciously. 2 women and a man. The first woman is holding a leash and claims it belongs to her own dog. The second woman is holding a bag of dog treats and says she has no idea what's going on. The man says he's just out for a jog and saw nothing. Who is hiding the truth? The detective notices it instantly. The first woman holding the leash is suspicious. It makes sense for someone to have a leash if they own a dog. But this leash is unusually clean and unused, with no signs of wear or scratches on the metal clasp. The second woman with the dog treats probably brought them to feed stray dogs or train her own pet. And it looks like the man isn't lying and really doesn't have anything to do with all this. The doctor gave her patient 4 pills of 2 types, 2 pills of each type. It's impossible to tell one from another, but it's important that the patient takes 1 pill of each type in the morning and the same in the evening. If he does something wrong, it could cost him his life. And yep, the pills got mixed up, and only you can save the patient's life. Can you figure out how to take the pills now? Just go back to the doctor and ask for more pills. Well, maybe it could work out in real life, but we're flexing the brain muscles here, so no. The patient will have to split each pill in half and take half of each pill in the morning and evening. A priceless crown arrived at a museum, and by priceless, I actually mean worth millions of dollars. It was still not on display, and only employees knew it was there. So when the crown went missing, the boss knew one of them had stolen it. She gathered all the staff in the exhibit room and told them she knew how to find the thief. Each of them had to walk past a special painting while the lights were turned off. The painting would scan everyone and reveal a faint glow when the thief passed by. The painting didn't glow at all during the procedure, but the boss knew exactly who had stolen the crown. How did she figure it out? The thief was the only one who hadn't walked past the painting. They believed it would glow, although their boss just made it up. A time traveler from the future accidentally stepped into the wrong portal and landed in our time. The portal he used has closed and he's stranded. He searched for a way to reopen it and noticed a strange message glowing on a screen nearby. How can he use this to reopen the portal? Did you notice that huge clock on the wall? The traveler must rotate the clock's hand, both the hour and minute hands, to align at the points mentioned in the note. He carefully set the hands at the right time, one after the other. When he aligned them one last time, the portal reopened and he stepped back into his time. Look at this beautiful family. One of these kiddos is named Kyle, and he's standing at the edge. If Liz were standing next to Sam, Paul would end up next to his namesake. Can you tell who's standing where? Liz is definitely not standing next to Sam. For her to be next to Sam, the girl would need to stand in the second spot from the left. Then, two namesakes would be next to each other to the right. So here they're from the left to right. Kyle, then Sam, Paul, Liz, and the second Paul. You're standing in front of a locked door. Your best friend is trapped on the other side. Whoa! Something is popping up on the screen. There's a hammer, a puzzle piece, a flashlight, and a rope. It looks like you must solve this riddle to rescue your friend. I hope you figured it out, because your bestie is pretty scared. It's the flashlight. You need to shine a light on the hidden code on the door to unlock it before using any other tools. Sophia and Lily were taking part in a local crafts fair. They were preparing for months. Sophia was really determined to sell all of her art because she made a bet with her husband. But the weather that day was just terrible. No one showed up to browse or buy anything. After hours of waiting with no customers in sight, both girls got really upset. Finally, they came up with a clever idea of how to sell everything, but without making any money. So, what did they do? Sophia and Lily simply sold their art to each other. Neither of them made a profit or a loss. This way, they both technically sold everything. Mom comes home after a long day and immediately notices her favorite vase, the one she inherited from her grandma, shattered on the floor. She calls her three kiddos into the living room: Liam, Mia, and Zoe. None of them admits they did it. Liam says he was reading a book in his room and only came downstairs to greet Mom. Mia claims she was watching TV when she heard the vase breaking into pieces. Zoe says she was sleeping, but the vase drama woke her up. Mom inspected the scene and knew who did it. Can you do the same? Zoe broke the vase. The trail of wet footprints matches the drips from her popsicle, and she definitely wasn't enjoying a popsicle in her sleep. How many riddles did you manage to solve? Let us know in the comments. It wasn't Sam's luckiest day. He woke up in a high-tech lab and found a bizarre note next to the sofa he was lying on. The tiny piece of paper claimed that the guy had to complete a series of tests to escape. First of all, he had to choose one of 3 rooms. The first room had a locked door with a security code. The second room was guarded by a terrifying robot that was supposed to charge at anyone who entered. And the third room had a timer set to 60 seconds and a large container with water. Which room should Sam pick to survive? He should opt for the third room with the timer and the container of water. He can pour the water on the timer, and most likely the timer will short circuit and shut off. Sam managed to escape the lab, but then he faced the next hurdle. There were 3 doors in front of him, each guarded by a different girl. Sam saw a blonde, a brunette, and a redhead. Each girl gave him a hint about the correct door. The blonde said, "Choose my door if you want to get out." The brunette said, "The redhead's door leads to a trap." And the redhead said, "The blonde is lying." Can you figure out which door Sam should choose and why? Sam should pick the brunette's door. If the redhead is telling the truth, that the blonde is lying, then the blonde's door does not lead to freedom. If the brunette says the redhead's door leads to a trap and the redhead is lying, then the redhead's door does indeed lead to a trap. Therefore, the safest option is the brunette's door. Sam got into the next room. There were 3 levers there. The first lever released a cloud of smoke. The second lever triggered an alarm, and the third lever opened a trap door. Can you help the guy choose which lever to pull? Sam should pull the third lever that opens the trap door. It may give him a way out. Meanwhile, the smoke and alarm are likely to be just distractions or warnings. So, Sam pulled the third lever. The floor disappeared from under his feet, and the guys fell down into a dark tunnel. In a few seconds, he found himself in another lab. On the table, he spotted 2 beakers. One beaker contained a harmless liquid, while in the other, there was a dangerous acid. There were labels on each beaker. One claimed harmless liquid, and the other said dangerous acid. Sam knew that the labels could have been swapped. How can the guy safely test the liquids without getting harmed? Sam can pour a small amount of liquid from the beaker labeled harmless liquid into a test tube. If it reacts violently, then the label is wrong, and it's the dangerous acid. If there's no reaction, then it's most likely indeed harmless, and the other beaker must contain the acid. Soon, Sam heard 3 different sounds coming from 3 different vents. A buzzing sound, a whistling sound, and a thumping sound. On the table, he saw one more note saying, "The safest path is the one that sounds the least alarming." The choice is all yours, Sammy. Do you know which vent he should opt for? Sam should crawl into the vent with the whistling sound. It's less alarming compared to the buzzing, which could mean serious electrical issues, or the thumping, which might be some dangerous machinery. The vent with the whistling sound turned out to be safe, and Sam got into a lab with 2 doors. Behind one of the doors, there was a dance-off with a group of girls who wouldn't stop dancing. And behind the other door, there was the only exit. But how can Sam figure out which door leads to freedom? Can you help him solve this mystery? Sam should close his eyes and cover his ears and try to feel vibrations. They'll be coming from the door behind which the dancing competition is taking place. After figuring it out, Sam should leave through the other door. Finally, Sam was on the brink of escaping the lab, but he faced one last obstacle. 3 girls were standing in front of him, and each was holding some item. One of the girls was the lab owner, while the other 2 could guide Sam to freedom. Sam had to figure out which of them was the lab owner based on the items the girls were holding. The blonde was holding a mirror which could reflect the truth but wouldn't help to escape. The brunette had a book with a lock. This book could be useful but was currently inaccessible. And the redhead carried a key that could unlock the way to freedom. but only if it was in the right hands. Have you already guessed which of the girls is the lab owner? The lab owner is the smiling girl with the locked book. It indicates that she holds the secrets of the lab. The mirror provides no useful information at the moment, but the key held by the redhead can help Sam escape. He should use the key to unlock the door to freedom. After getting away from the lab and its insane owner, Sam thought that his adventures had finished. Unfortunately, it was just wishful thinking. He was just walking home from work when he heard screams coming from a nearby house. Sam rushed in to help. Soon, he found himself in a basement. As soon as he walked in, the door behind him slammed shut, and 3 portals opened in front of the guy. The first portal was filled with giant venomous spiders. The second portal led to a cave filled with scorpions. In the third portal, 7 hungry lions were waiting for their future dinner. Which portal should Sam choose to survive? The guy should opt for the second portal. Despite widespread stereotypes, scorpion stings are rarely life-threatening. If Sam is careful enough, he can get out of this tricky situation mostly unscathed. Unfortunately, the cave Sam ended up in was so huge that the guy got lost. After some time, he came across 2 people, a man and a young lady. The man had a large unkempt beard and was quite rough-looking. He also had a shovel in his hands. He said that he'd been stuck in the cave for a week. He promised he knew how to get to the surface, but he needed Sam's help. The young woman warned Sam, telling him not to trust the man. He was a criminal. She told Sam to follow her since she had been stuck in the cave way longer than the man. And finally, she had to figure out where the exit was. What do you think? Who should Sam believe? Sam decided to follow the man. If the girl had been in the cave for so long, why did she look so tidy and have fresh flowers in her hair? Right after Sam returned to his native town, a terrible storm happened there. It caused a serious blackout. Using the darkness, some criminals locked Sam away. The building where he was kept had 3 doors. Sam could use one of them to escape. But the first door hid a trap that would crush anyone as soon as they entered. Behind the second door, there were chainsaws that could cut anything into pieces in no time. And flesh-eating acid was bubbling behind the third door. Which door should Sam pick to survive? Chainsaws can't harm the guy because there's no electricity in the town after the storm. On a sunny morning, Sam decided to go for a walk in the jungle. All of a sudden, the path he was walking along split into 3 smaller roads. One led to a dangerous marsh swallowing everything and everybody that got there. The second road led to vampire hunting grounds. And the third path took travelers to an active volcano filled with red-hot lava. Which road is the safest? Sam should opt for the second path. Even if vampires did exist, they wouldn't show up in bright daylight.
Harry wakes up inside a simulated reality. An AI voice tells him that he needs to complete a series of tasks in order to get back to his normal life. 3 doors are projected in front of him. The first has a huge hammer that smashes anything that passes by it. The second door leads to a corridor filled with electric pipes. And behind the third door, there's broken glass all over the place. He has 2 seconds to choose one of the doors. Which one should he pick? He should choose the third door. Since he's wearing shoes, he'll be all right. He goes through that door and ends up in a cage. Inside, there are 3 rescue buttons. The red button will open the cage immediately, but it also simultaneously opens a cage with a hungry lion. The blue one will open the cage in 10 minutes, but it will also open hundreds of water pipes. The orange button will open the cage in 5 minutes, but it will also set the place on fire. Which of the buttons should he press? He should press the blue one. I mean, since it's a cage, it won't fill up with water. As soon as his cage opens, he is free to swim away. Then he finds himself at a crossroads. There are 3 different paths, and he needs to figure out which one to take. The first path is filled with smoking coal. The second path has frozen ice all over it. And the third path has pretty sharp nails. Which one should he choose? He should definitely choose the middle path. Even if the ice doesn't melt during daytime, it's pretty easy to go through it. It looks like Harry is doing pretty well, so the AI controlling the game decides to make the task a bit more difficult. It projects a scene where Harry is now in a hotel lobby. He has to figure out which of the lobby guys won't help him with his luggage. It's definitely the guy in the middle. If you look closely, the guy is transparent, which means he's probably a ghost. He can't touch physical stuff, so he won't be able to help Harry. Suddenly, the weekend in this virtual reality, and Harry is taken to a cabin in the mountains. There are 4 friends waiting for his arrival. They have a fun time, but at the end of the weekend, the cabin catches fire. One of his friends did it. Take a look at the image. Can you figure out who did it? It's the third guy to the right. He has a tiny gasoline bottle hanging from his belt. Harry suddenly appears in what looks like a wedding ceremony and discovers he's the one getting married. 2 women appear in front of him. They are dressed the same, but they both have their faces covered with veils. He needs to figure out who his true bride is. Can you help him out here? They look identical, but one of them already has a wedding ring. This can only mean that his true bride is the other lucky gal. For his next challenge, he's taken to a restaurant where a waitress shows him 4 glasses. Each glass is filled with the same liquid, water, and has an object inside of it. The waitress asks Harry which glass has more water than the rest. Take a look at the image. Can you figure out the correct answer? This shouldn't be too hard. The last glass is the one that has more water inside. The paperclip weighs almost nothing, while the other objects are way heavier. This means there is less water in all the other glasses. Harry's doing great thanks to you. Now, look at this image. There are 3 people about to parachute out of an airplane. Help Harry figure out who is in graver danger here. It's the first 2 people. You see, there's a heavy bottle in the last guy's backpack. If it falls down, it can break the other's parachutes. Uh-oh. Harry's stomach starts to growl after so much hard work, so he asks for some food. The AI controlling the game decides to create 2 chefs to bake him 2 different cakes. But here's the catch. Only one is safe to eat. Take a look at both of these delicious-looking cakes. Which one is safe? If you have a sharp eye, you'll know that the chef on the left is a fake, so you shouldn't eat his cake. The left chef has stains all over his shirt that look like blood. Plus, he doesn't have a badge on his shirt. He has a scratch over his eye, and he's hiding a syringe in his hand behind his back. There are just too many red flags here. Harry should go for the cake on the right. Well, it's time to take a nap, and Harry is taken to an old house. There are 3 rooms for him to choose from. Take a look at the picture. Which one should he choose? Well, so you see the hidden scenarios behind the curtains in the first room? That's a big no-no. As for the third room, notice how the AC is set to cold even though it's snowing outside. No to that, so he should definitely pick the second room. To sweeten things up a bit, Harry was enrolled into a baking competition. He was introduced to 3 judges, and they each told Harry what their favorite cake was. The first judge expressed his love for chocolate pies. Judge number 2 said he loved berry pies more than anything in the world. And Judge 3 said he was fond of pecan pies, also pronounced pecan. Harry immediately knew one of them was lying. Can you tell who? It was judge number 2. Do you see the chocolate stains and pie crumbles on the second judge's shirt? That could only mean he was enjoying a slice of chocolate pie before arriving at the competition venue. Harry needs to enter a new realm of the game, and for that, he needs to go through what looks like an airport. He didn't have any luggage with him, but he still needed to go through a security check. He went through the scanner, but he beeped every time he passed through it. Take a look at the image. Can you figure out what was making him beep so much? It was the necklace chain dangling from the pocket of his jacket. Good eye if you spotted that. Passing through the different realms, Harry spotted a nice bakery, then decided to stop for some more nourishment. There were 3 options to choose from: a cupcake, a chocolate croissant, and a gingerbread cookie. Can you guess which one he picked? You don't need to be a genius to see that Harry is using gingerbread cookie socks. He loves them so much, which is why that's his usual pick. Harry arrived at the gate of the new realm, and there were 2 creatures guarding it, a lion and a unicorn. There was a little sign saying that the lion lied on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, and that the unicorn lied on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Harry asked to get inside, and the lion said he needed to answer one of the riddles. He told Harry that he lied yesterday, and the unicorn said he also lied yesterday. Can you help Harry figure out which day of the week was yesterday? Well, let's see how this works. From what the magical creatures said, they were both lying on the same day. So the only possible answer to this riddle is Saturday. If we consider yesterday was Saturday, that means the lion was telling the truth and the unicorn was lying. Finally, Harry completed all of his tasks and was allowed to go back home. Which of the 3 doors should Harry choose to get back home? Well, let's see. He should choose the door in the middle. It has a house emoji on it, which will probably take Harry directly back to the comfort of his home. Daisy returned home and noticed that someone had broken into her apartment and stolen her diamond necklace. The police arrive and question 3 neighbors. Greg was painting his ceiling. He was wearing headphones, so he couldn't hear anything. Bianca was hiking with her bestie all day long. They've just returned home. Glenda only went out once to walk her dog. She thinks she heard some weird noises from Daisy's apartment. Who's lying? Greg, take a look at his ceiling. Does it look freshly painted? Busted. Daisy works as a manager at the local circus. Her task is to prepare their new location for future performances. She arrives at the spot, takes a look at the stage, and freaks out. Why? Take a closer look at the sign. It says citrus instead of circus. Daisy goes to her favorite cafe to have lunch. There, she sees these three people. One of them was poison. Can you guess who? The third guy didn't even touch his cappuccino. He must be just sleeping. The second lady is awake. She has some cappuccino mustache, nothing criminal. But take a look at the first guy. He's wearing glasses, so we can't say for sure whether he's awake or not. Meanwhile, his phone is ringing in his pocket, but he shows no reaction at all. That's suspicious. So he's the poisoned one. After lunch, Daisy enters one of the dressing rooms and finds their star, Clown Roger, unconscious on the floor. Daisy calls the police. They arrive very quickly and question three witnesses. Bob says he was just walking by. He has never seen this clown before. Mia says that she's a huge fan of Clown Roger, and she's very sorry. And Nick says that he's just a handyman. The circus hired him to fix problems with electricity. Who's lying? Bob. He said he had never seen this actor, but he's wearing a t-shirt which has a print of Clown Roger's face. So Bob must be his crazy fan. Daisy visits another star of the circus, Dave. He's a talented acrobat. Dave has just received a mysterious basket of candies with a letter. The sender is unknown. The letter says, "Dear Dave, thank you very much for your talent. I really like you. Let's go out sometime. Best wishes." There's no name on the letter. Dave has no clue who it could be from. Luckily, there's a short little riddle. 3rd of August, 4th of February, 2nd of May, 3rd of December, and 6th of October. Can you help him crack the code? The 3rd of August means the third letter in the word August, which is G. The fourth letter of February is R. The second letter of May is A, and so on. So the name of Dave's secret admirer is Grace. The circus company throws a corporate party. They ask all employees to wear some Halloween costumes. So Daisy heads to the shopping mall to get herself one. But they only have 3 options to choose from: a witch outfit, a mermaid costume, and a vampire costume. Can you help her make the best choice? Take a closer look at the witchy costume. This tag says it's made out of paper, so it's a bad idea to wear it at a party. As for the mermaid costume, the tail is torn at the back. So Daisy should pick the vampire outfit. Daisy arrives at the party. Everyone's dancing in their Halloween costumes, but one of these 4 people is a real vampire. Can you guess who? Let's see. The guy on the left is drinking something red, but he has a shadow, so he can't be a real vampire. The second lady looks pretty creepy. But if you look closely at the mirror on the wall, you'll see her reflection, so we can exclude her. We can also see the reflection of the fourth guy in the mirror. Only one lady is left, so she must be the real vampire. Daisy's town has an old haunted museum. Daisy and her friends decide to spend Halloween night inside the museum to have some spooky time. As the clock strikes midnight, the portraits hanging on the walls of the museum come to life. A portrait of a lady starts screaming for some help. She tells Daisy that the former employees dared to make a fake version of her portrait, and she wants Daisy to destroy it. But Daisy takes a look at the fake portrait and spots 3 differences from the original. She assures the lady that it can't hold a candle to the original. Can you spot them too? The lipstick color, the pendant, and the ribbon on her hair are all different. Then Daisy goes to the cafeteria to grab some snacks. There are 3 options only. Which one should she choose? Take a look at the date that's written on the potato chips bag. According to it, the chips expired in 1924, so that's a pass. The small note below the ice cream says it's earwax flavored. Nobody wants to taste that. So Daisy should pick the popcorn. Daisy keeps on walking and comes across a building. There are 2 ladies in 2 different apartment windows. Both seem to be busy with household duties, but one of them is dangerous. Can you guess who? The second lady is just getting rid of pests. There's nobody in the room and she's wearing a mask. But take a look at the lady on the left. There's an open bleach bottle next to the food she's cooking. Ew, no thank you. Daisy keeps on walking and faces something curious. It's a 5-letter word that is under you. If you remove its first letter, then it's over you. If you remove its first and second letters, it's all around you. What is it? It's just a chair. The next morning, Daisy arrives at the circus. She finds out that Dave was kidnapped by a mad scientist. He locked Dave in his lab in one room and put a zombie in another room. Daisy arrives at the lab to rescue Dave. She sees these 2 doors with 2 signs. Only one of them tells the truth, and another one lies. The sign on the first door says, "Dave is here and the zombie is in the next room." And the sign on the second door says, "The zombie is in one room and Dave is in the other." So, where's Dave? Dave is in the second room. If door 1 tells the truth, then door 2 is true too. This is contrary to the terms of the game. Daisy rescues Dave. They escape through a long corridor together. Soon the corridor splits into 3 tunnels. They are signed West, East, and South. The pair also see some weird inscriptions on the wall. Which corridor should they choose? Daisy and Dave should tilt their heads and look at the inscription upside down. This way, it reads South. The guys keep on walking and find a door. But it's locked. They need to enter a 4-digit password. Luckily, there's a hint nearby. It's a note that has 4 images. Can you help Daisy and Dave crack the code? Each digit corresponds to the number of colors of the objects. This clover only has 1 color. The Santa hat has 2, the banana has 1, and finally, the rainbow has 7. So the code is 1217. Daisy and Dave open the door and escape from the lab. They find themselves in the middle of an island. The guys hit the road and drive to the pier, where they face these 3 bridges leading to the mainland. Sharp rocks and glass cover the first bridge. The second one is swarming with venomous snakes. Hot orange lava is boiling on the third road. Which route should they choose? They're driving an open-top car, so it's dangerous to choose the snakes. The first bridge will destroy their tires, so they should pick the third route. The ocean will soon cool the lava down and turn it into stone.
Hey, Brightsider, I see it in your eyes. You need a new riddle workout urgently. Here it goes. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Your first task is to rearrange these letters to spell a single word. What will you get? A single word, of course. The answer was actually in the question itself. How many letters are in the alphabet? The answer might be a bit less straightforward than you'd prefer. You probably already knew that the answer wasn't 26. It would be too simple. There are 11 letters in the words the alphabet. There was a green glass door in the middle of a big city. Rumor had it something mysterious and beautiful was hidden behind this door. A group of friends found the door and tried to go through it. Interestingly, Amanda, Anna, and Oliver managed to sneak inside, while Lauren and Sebastian weren't even able to open the door. What do you think? Will Mark get inside or not? Mark will easily open the door and go through it. Only people whose name contain an even number of letters can do it. Imagine you have 3 eggs. Now I give you 5 eggs. Then your rooster lays 2 more eggs. How many eggs do you have? Just those 5 eggs I gave you. Your imaginary eggs don't count, and roosters don't lay eggs. Look at this picture attentively. Can you figure out which of these 3 men is the boss? It's the man on the right. Do you see that his suit jacket is hanging on the boss's chair? No matter who's standing behind the desk, he's the boss. Now a bit of math for you. How can 4 be half of 5? It's actually possible if we use Roman numerals. Look, this is IV. And it's indeed half, 2 letters out of 4, of the word 5. The next riddle for you. Turn me on my side and I'm everything. Cut me in half and I'm nothing. What am I? I'm the number 8. When on its side, it looks like the infinity sign. But if you cut it in half, it'll turn into 0. I can't talk, but I'll answer you if you speak to me. What am I? I'm an echo. It's orange and sounds like a parrot. What is it? It's a carrot. It belongs to the month of December, but not any other month. It's also not a holiday. Then what is it? The answer is simple. The letter D. It helps you from head to toe. The more it works, the smaller it grows. What is it? It's a bar of soap. How can a pocket have something in it if it has nothing in it? If it has a hole in it, it can definitely have nothing else. It goes up and down, but never moves. What is it? It's stairs. Can you name 4 days of the week that begin with the letter T? To crack this riddle, you need to think a bit outside the box. These days are Tuesday, Thursday, today, and tomorrow. A is B's father, but B isn't A's son. How is it possible? B is A's daughter. What is always in front of you, but you can't see it? It's your future. When I point up, it's bright. When I point down, it's dark. What am I? I'm a light switch. What has to be broken before you can use it? An egg. Can you find a mistake in this picture? It's the wristwatch. Such watches are always manufactured with the crown on the right side. Look at these teapots. If teapot A contains 40 cups of tea, how many cups of tea can teapot B hold? Even though teapot B is larger than teapot A, its spout is placed at the level that corresponds to the middle of teapot A, which means that if you pour inside more than 20 cups, the tea will start overflowing. In what case is this equation correct? When we're talking about time, 1 p.m. plus 20 minutes is the same as 2 p.m. minus 40 minutes. A few college students went camping. They were dancing near the campfire when it suddenly started raining. The campfire got extinguished. One of the students, Eden, had a flashlight and some batteries, 8 in total. 4 of them were charged and 4 were not. Eden didn't know which batteries were charged. What is the least number of attempts Eden will need to light up the flashlight? Eden will need 7 attempts. See for yourself. He'll need to put batteries into 3 groups, 2 groups of 3 and 1 group of 2. It guarantees that at least one of the groups will have gotten 2 working batteries. Each group of 3 requires 3 attempts to verify if 2 batteries of the group are working, while the group of 2 needs 1 attempt. So the total number of attempts is 7. Amy overslept this morning and she's going to be late for work.
Oh, no.
She gets ready, runs to the bus stop, and hops on the only bus waiting there. Uh-oh, it seems to be the wrong bus. There are 3 doors at the back. The driver tells Amy that only one leads to safety. Behind the first door, there's a giant elephant that will step on anyone who isn't gray. Behind the second one, there's a tiger that will eat anyone who isn't orange. Behind the third door, there's an anaconda that will swallow anyone that isn't green.
Uh-oh.
Amy also sees 2 buckets of paint. One is yellow and the other is red. Which door should the girl choose? She should mix the red and yellow paint to get the orange color, paint herself, and head out through the second door. You're heading to the underground parking to get your car when the electricity goes out. You see a glowing 3-digit PIN code lock on your car. On the floor, there's a piece of paper with 009 written on it. You enter the number, but of course, the attempt is unsuccessful. If only everything was so simple. Can you figure out the correct code? All you need to do is flip the paper upside down and you'll get the correct number. It's 600. John is looking for a gift at a shopping mall. One of the stores has a mysterious extension that leads to a vault filled with diamonds and gold jewelry. As soon as he walks in, the owner pulls the bars down and locks him in the room. He tells John he has to eat one of the 3 cookies lying on the table. Then he'll be set free and get the treasure. The first cookie will turn John into an animal. The second cookie will make him a giant. The last one will make him invisible. Which one should he eat? The first one. He can turn into a mouse and squeeze through the bars. That's how he'll get out and win the gold. Mark and Amy were parents to a boy called Jacob. One day, Mark's laptop disappeared and nobody in the house could find it. They called the police. When a detective arrived and searched the scene, he found a note on Mark's desk. It was written by Jacob. The note read, "Wow!" The detective immediately figured out who had taken the laptop. Can you understand it too? It was Amy. If you turn the note upside down, it'll read, "Mom." One day, a public library made a strange announcement. Each member could borrow as many books as they wanted. They also didn't have to return them for the next half a year. Why? The library was moving to a new building, but they didn't have enough money. And this way, the patrons would move most of the books by themselves.